Greenland suspends oil exploration because of climate change.
Here's a summary of the article.
Copenhagen, Denmark. The left-leaning government of Greenland has decided to suspend all oil exploration off the world's largest island, calling it a natural step, because the Arctic government takes the climate crisis seriously. No oil has been found yet around Greenland, but officials there had seen potentially vast reserves as a way to help Greenlanders realize their long-held dream of independence from Denmark by cutting the annual subsidy of 3.4 billion kroner the Danish territory receives. The future does not lie in oil. The future belongs to renewable energy, and in that respect we have much more to gain, the Greenland government said in a statement. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates there could be 17.5 billion undiscovered barrels of oil and 148 trillion cubic feet of natural gas off Greenland, although the island's remote location and harsh weather have limited exploration. Greenland still has 4 active hydrocarbon exploration licenses, which it is obliged to maintain as long as the licensees are actively exploring. The government's decision to stop oil exploration was welcomed by environmental group Greenpeace, which called the decision fantastic. Denmark decides foreign, defense and security policy, and supports Greenland with the annual grant that accounts for about 2/3 of the Arctic island's economy.
This post received a score of 68,000, with an upvote ratio of 90%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Greater than potentially vast reserves sounds like Greenland needs some freedom.
Greenland doesn't appear very democratic lately.
Greater than, the future does not lie in oil. The future belongs to renewable energy, and in that respect we have much more to gain, the Greenland government said in a statement. The government said it wants to take co-responsibility for combating the global climate crisis. Many big fat billionaires could learn something from this government, which is relying on subsidies to maintain itself.
The billionaires, but what about our profits? You can't possibly expect us to sacrifice our profits for the sake of the planet. That's communism.
What if you took some profits now, but saved some profits for later?
I will be dead later. Billionaires and millionaires paid by billionaires, probably.
Remember the stories about valiant knights who would vanquish dragons that just terrorized the people and sat on their piles of gold? I always liked those stories.
It's honestly like people look at those types of stories and never realize that the dragon is never the hero. Maybe as a subversion here and there, but how common is that, really? Those stories are metaphors for monarchs and the fate all monarchs deserve. We've just been able to update the metaphor as time goes on. New tech, better control.
No worry. Russia, Canada and Norway will take over.
Sadly, you are right. But every bit helps, and I applaud Greenland for standing up and doing the right thing. It's useless. Many EU countries send their dirty manufacturing abroad. Then they are like, look, we are greener. It's all a scam.
All the rare earth minerals mined in DRC or China, so the West does not see the polluting effects but can claim to be green and clean.
Same with recycling and pretty much everything that involves outsourcing or trade. We don't allow sweatshops, but we'll gladly buy stuff made in sweatshops somewhere else. People are suspending Arctic oil operations because it's not profitable due to the low cost of oil and new alternatives like shale. They just package this with a feel-good environmental message, but once the price goes up again, everyone will quietly be back. Source: working in marine industry strategy.
The oil sector will still require new production of nearly 23 million barrels a day to meet demand after 2030. Yes. But much of that will be from fracking, which is cheaper than offshore, especially Arctic offshore.
Greenland doesn't produce any oil and hasn't for 50 years. Reminds me of when New Zealand did this a few years back. It's not a bad thing, but it's not like it costs them anything. No production is stopping because there never was any. It's like me announcing ceasing oil exploration in my backyard.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.